Hi everybody, I'm back. And I'm back to do a special reading today for somebody that got a hold of me. And they're from Melbourne, Australia, and they live in the state of Victoria, and their premier is a real scumbag, right? Imagine that in today's day and age, that's going on. So the original question, the way they had worded it, was they wanted me to check into that particular premier to see if he was going to win the election, because they have a midterm election. Well, we call it midterms here. I'm not sure what you would call it there. But they have an election coming up on, I'm reading, I made notes. They have an election coming up on the 26th of November, 2022. And the people in the state of Victoria are concerned that this guy might win again, right? And he has apparently really been overstepping his powers and then some, like a real power-hungry, manipulative, horrific, deep state individual, right? So she wanted me to look into that to see if they were going to win. But this is the thing. Or they wanted to know if he was going to win again, or if he would be, if he would lose. That was the question. She wanted me to look into it to see if he would lose. And this is how I look at it. So in all the years that I've been doing my emotional work, God, that's so much. It never ends. But I realized where my mind goes, where energy flows, really that's creating the reality, right? So if there's something that I don't want to give that energy, because it doesn't matter if the energy that you're putting out there says, I don't want him to win. I don't want him to win. I don't want him to win. You're giving them energy. You're giving them your energy. So really, I find personally that it's best to focus on what you do want, and focus on what you want to happen. Give that energy, right? That's why I say always think positive and, follow your dreams and imagine the world that you want to live in. It's because through experience, I have just discovered in my own life that's really the way it works. And universally, if you look into manifesting and you really think about how the universe works, the universe is going to bring you what it is that you're focused on. Because whether we're manifesting intentionally or whether we're manifesting unintentionally, the universe hears where our thoughts are. So the first thing I want to say is my heart is with everybody in Victoria. You know that I all feel like we're all one, we're all connected. Where we go one, we go all. You know that I feel like we're all going through a dark night of the soul with this and the world over. And I believe we're going to come out the other side, enlightened and healed, and we'll have grown together, and, for the positive. But it's not a lot of fun right now being in the midst of it all. We are human. We're human. And, we feel it. It would be spiritual bypassing to not acknowledge the things that are negative in this world. There's so much of that. And it really would be spiritual bypassing. And my teacher used to call it blissnany. When you're just up there in the clouds, blissnany, and you're not really grounded in the earth. And we are here to have an earthly experience. But it's very important for us to keep our minds focused, our dreams focused, and our attentions and our hearts focused on what we want, the good stuff. So what I'm going to ask, instead of asking if that guy is going to lose, What I am going to ask is, there is somebody in mind that she thinks would be better, and that they're hoping wins. And so that's the question I'm going to ask. So I'm setting, you all know that I set the intentions, and I don't need to go over that every single time. But I've set my intentions that only truth is welcome here and only love is welcome here. And we will see what we get for a reading, for a reading in the cards. So we're going to ask if the independent choice, Ian Cook, who is running against the other person, and I don't even want to say his name because I don't want to give him energy, okay? So I'm not going to say his name. If you're all not from there, you can look into it. I'm sure it's easy enough to find who it is that we're reading on right now. So I'm asking Source Energy and my highest self, I want to know, in the month that we all consider November, in the year that we all consider 2022, in Australia, in the state of Victoria, will the independent choice win the election for November 26th, 2022? So that's what we want to know. We're going to check into that, okay? So that's what I want to know. I want to know if the independent choice, Ian Cook, is going to win that election on November 26th, 2022. Okay, you guys. Looks like the election might be tied up. So, in reference to that question, this is the card that represents the question, and we got the Eight of Swords. And you can see there's some bandages tied around this person, all the information in the background. It's not hard to get out of this. If you look, those bandages are very loose. But it would seem as though the election is going to be tied up for whatever the reason. And right above that, we have that's actually a gift from the universe. That's the universe bringing a gift by tying this election up somehow. So now, across from that, we've got two brand new journeys, okay? So we have the Ace of Pentacles saying something new is going to come in. Something new is going to come in. And we have hyper-focused awareness on the journey. All right? So it looks like the election is going to be tied up a bit. There's something that's going to go on with that. And that's actually a gift from the universe. Okay, so I don't believe that even if he did win, you would know it. So I don't know if you're going to be able to go out and vote on the 26th. Or I don't know if you're going to deal with this big election mess where there's recounts and counts and this and that. Or if it's going to be called off, but something's tying up the results of that, and it actually above it, it's saying it's a gift. It's a gift, you guys. That is actually a gift from the universe that will be tied up a bit. Okay, so then across from that, something new has to start, and there's a hyper focus. These pentacles are earthly pleasures. Remember that, right? And so an election is very much about the earth and the day-to-day thing. Something new has to begin, and they're hyper-focused on that right now. So I'm thinking maybe you guys need to bring in a different way of voting, and that's what's going to hold up the election. Something to that effect. What's driving this entire reading what's driving this entire reading is that, you know, people have been praying for this. And so there needs to be like a surrendering to it, an ending to it. You got to surrender to that so that some balance can be created. So that's curious, you know. I don't think any of us should have a midterm election. Ours are coming up too, you guys. We're going to be voting, I think, on the 8th. I think our election is on the 8th. And I have to tell you, nothing here has changed. Nothing here has changed. We're still using Dominion. I mean, it's not gonna... You know, I don't see what the point of that is. We know they cheat. And we know how easy it is for them to cheat. We know they've been cheating for years, right? It just was like so blatant over the last couple of years. But I mean, I remember, I'll never forget how disgusted I was when I watched, you know, George W. cheat. Basically said, I'm not saying the other guy would have been any better. Please don't get me wrong. But it was just so blatant as we were watching that whole night unfold on TV. And, you know, he's like, Florida... No, that guy can't get Florida because my brother is governor of Florida. Florida's mine. And, you know, 5 minutes later they come back on, oh, you know, Florida's George W.'s. I was so disgusted. You know, I mean, they just blatantly been cheating for years. It's true. And we're in the midst of a mess, you guys. So, like, and we've been in a mess. This world has been in a mess. So, you know, what good are these midterms going to do, really? Unless we fix the problem and get rid of these machines, right? So I'm wondering if maybe that's what's going to happen, if you're even going to have an election. And if you do go out and vote, if it's going to be, you know, tied up for weeks and weeks and weeks. With discrepancies, trying to figure out who actually won. So it's not really, you know, it's mostly saying that the election is going to have some issues. The election is going to have some issues because something needs to start, and it is being hyper-focused on. So to me, that looks as though it's something right now that they're trying to fix, whether you know about it or not, whether you realize that it's trying to be fixed or not. So I'm just going to ask for clarification on this tied up card. And I'm going to ask if there'll even be, does this mean that there won't even be an election? Will it be called off? Does that mean that for a moment the elections will be called off? And maybe you won't be actually going out to vote on November 26th. You get the community and a victory. So with the tied up card and me asking, you know, does that mean that it will be called off? And you get the community card and a victory. I'm thinking that whatever is tying this up, it's something that you're all screeching about. You're all complaining about it. So are you complaining about the way that you do the votes? Because you community are going to get your way. The community is winning. You get a small victory. So I would be interested to know exactly, you know, when we talked, you didn't really tell me any of that stuff because we were focused on this stuff. But I would be interested to know, are there activists out there trying to stop this from happening? Petitions being signed, voices being heard, because it's saying that the community gets a victory. By this being tied up, it's a victory for the community. So, you know, yeah, a lot of work going into that. So I would say right now, you know, do not focus on the fear. I know we talked about this the other day, and I hope that it really helped redirect you to get you out of that fear place. because that's where they want to keep us. So do not focus on the fear. Don't give this guy any of your energy whatsoever. But like I said the other day, focus on your state, Victoria, being free and celebrating. Okay? I really hope that this helped. And much love, much love, many blessings. My heart is with you all. Gosh, I wish there was more that I could do. I think this is good. I think this is a really good reading. This is very positive because you guys are starting something new that's being hyper-focused on. Okay, you guys? And it's the answer to your prayers. There has to be a surrendering to, and some balance is going to be created. So an ending. So maybe an ending to that election being done that way. Remember, this is a gift from the universe, okay? And these tie-ups that you guys are going to see around this whole election is, it's for the community. It's actually a celebration. It's a victory, you guys. And a lot of work has gone into that. So that's what I'm getting, at least in the cards. Keep projecting good things. Keep seeing Victoria free. Celebrating. Keep seeing the world over free and celebrating. And don't give this other guy any of your attention. Don't give him your energy. Don't allow him to feed off of your fear. Okay? So just keep projecting. And I hope that you found a little comfort in this. Again, this is just what I'm getting in the cards. Do feel free to reach back out to me. I'm going to put this up. And many blessings to all of you. Many blessings to all of you from me. So much love. So much love and joy and good tidings. And really keep that frequency up, your frequency high. And love. Stay in the love vibration, you guys. That heals everything. There's no higher frequency, you guys, and it heals all. So no matter what, pull yourself back, give yourself love, fill that cup, spill that love outward everywhere, laugh, dance, sing, feel joy. Don't let the fear stop you from the good stuff, because the good stuff is what takes us out of the matrix, and it's how we win this shit. Okay, you guys, until next time, many blessings, much love, and I will see you soon. All right, take care.